Senghor, founding father of Senegal and the soul of African humanism, was more than a president. He was a visionary thinker, poet, and statesman who helped define not only modern Senegal identity but also the intellectual and cultural contours of post-colonial Africa. As Senegal's first president, he guided the country peacefully through its transition from colony to independent nation, leaving behind a legacy rooted in democracy, education, and cultural affirmation. A scholar from Jol, Senghor was born in the small coastal town of Jol, Senegal, into a Sira aristocratic family. His upbringing was steeped in African tradition and Catholic values, a distinction that made him a pioneer in French academia. Yet, even as he mastered the tools of Western scholarship, a powerful literary and political philosophy that challenged European colonial narratives of African inferiority, Senghor was elected as the country's first president, a position he held until 1980. His presidency was marked by an emphasis on nation-building, education, and political stability, even while navigating the challenges of post-colonial development and Cold War geopolitics, set a democratic precedent for Senegal and contributed to its reputation as one of Africa's most politically stable countries, positioning them as rich and vital elements of global civilization, grounded not in Marxist class struggle, but in African communal traditions and humanism. He prioritized literacy, cultural revival, and state planning while maintaining ties with France, ensuring both continuity and Senghor's writings blended classical French poetic structure with African imagery and experience, creating a hybrid cultural expression that reflected the reality of colonized peoples. He remained deeply connected to his African roots both intellectually and spiritually. His poetry collections, such as Chants d'Ombre and Hosties, in building a new nation and redefining African dignity through poetry and politics, he left an indelible mark on Senegal and on the world, as celebrated for their lyrical beauty, cultural depth, and political insight, a duality that would later influence his unique worldview. Recognized early for his intelligence, he was sent to France to continue his studies, eventually attending the prestigious Louis-le-Grand. In 1935, he became the first black African egregious in grammar. His inclusion was both symbolic and substantive, a recognition that African voices belonged in the canon of world literature. His face appears on currency, his writings are taught in schools, and his philosophy still resonates in debates over language, post-colonial identity, and African development. The movement, a cultural awakening. In the 1930s, while living in France, Senghor joined with Caribbean writers and Domus to found a movement. He is remembered not just as Senegal's founding president, but as a global thinker who bridged Africa and Europe, tradition and modernity, politics and poetry. His life's work continues to inspire African intellectuals, artists, and leaders seeking to balance local identity with global engagement. Celebrated African identity, history, emotion, rhythm, and community. A statesman with a vision after World War II, Senghor entered politics and was elected to the French National Assembly, representing Senegal. He became a key figure in post-war African intellectual and political circles, advocating for equal political representation, decolonization, and cultural autonomy. When Senegal gained independence in 1960, Senghor promoted a form of African socialism, a peaceful transition of power. In 1980, Senghor voluntarily resigned from the presidency, an act nearly unheard of among African leaders at the time. This peaceful transition of power to Abdoudia, his decision to step down, underscored a political philosophy rooted not in personal power, but in the ethical responsibility of leadership, a principle he consistently championed. Literary greatness and international recognition. Even while leading a country, Senghor remained a prolific poet and intellectual. In 1983, Senghor became the first African elected to the Franc Isa, the highest honor in French literary life. Legacy and influence. Senghor's legacy is vast. Today, Senghor remains a symbol of dignified leadership, cultural pride, and ethical governance. Senghor's story is a testament to the transformative power of ideas and the enduring value of principled leadership.